Welcome to Matters Arising. Today we have a lot of things to talk about. But let me tell the viewers, we're going to start from motopark style of leadership versus visionary style of leadership.
It's this man that gave us that analogy.
Yeah, Pastor Tunde Bakare. You know, but I was even actually getting surprised that Pastor Tunde Bakare, who vehemently fought together with Asiwaju, at least until about 2014, decided to use Yemi Osibanjo as a running mate of Muhammadu Buhari. You know, they were all together working, fighting against PDP that time. For him to have lost confidence and described this government as a motopark style of leadership, what went wrong and where?
Well, don't also forget that this is not the first time he came out to oppose governance of the president. He did that to Buhari as well, you know, and that's the beauty of democracy. That you will talk about the person that is not doing well when the person is not doing well. If you are doing well, we say you are doing well. If you are not doing well, if he doesn't talk about it, that means he originally didn't believe in democracy and development. So now, what he also did was that he gave this APC government led by Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu 2 whooping years. And even when Nigerians were crying the most, he never said anything until now. So it's not that he's quarreling or has a personal difference. He's okay. He's well to do. I don't think he needs anything from anybody. But at this particular time, he has to stand up and be counted.
You know, the Bible says, pray without ceasing. But Pastor Bakare said, we are tired of praying.
We've prayed.
It is time for pragmatic of both. That people are tired.
We've prayed. We're a praying country. We know how to pray. Nigerians can pray. I can tell you go to church. Some churches are currently praying now for Nigeria. We've prayed enough now. We should take some step to actualize this. I like his analogy. He talked about what happened in university. He spoke about what's currently happening in the National Assembly. He spoke about the presidency, the rascality. He said we are drifting towards mafia kind of leadership. That's the latest he just released. I know I've seen that. It was on channels. So we're drifting towards mafia kind of leadership when everything is controlled by one man. When one man decides everything that happens. When there is no opposition voice. There's no dissenting voice. And if you look at the National Assembly, it's one house. Throughout the day, they were saying, we are mandate, we shall stand. Which mandate? Yes, PDP, there's APC, there's Labour. Almost mandates.
There's Abga.
There's Abga. And APC's mandates.
You think Asiwaju is Bakare is disappointed?
Of course he is. He has so much expectation. Like you always say you believe that Tinubu is a Democrat.
No, I've always had that belief that Tinubu is a Democrat.
Probably he had same belief that things will get better. The truth is that most Nigerians who thought that Buhari was the slowest who can go.
Okay, let me come to you. Tinubu is probably working on long-term benefit for Nigeria when he clearly told us that we should tighten our seatbelt and should get ready, that he's going to, it's like surgery. You give an analogy like you want to have a surgery, to solve a problem. The surgery is going to be painful. It's going to take some time. Is it that Nigerians are not patient enough, or do you think we are not being patient?
So I don't think you are being polite with words as it is right now. Because if you are saying that Tinubu said we should have patience for these long-term economic goals, he didn't plan for long-term economic goals for the presidency. He has bought a private jet to make sure he's fine. He has bought cars for the National Assembly. I mean, the ministers are living large. Those that are living large, they are there. So who should not be patient? They should also cut their own budget according to the economic indices that we have in the country. But we've not seen that. So you are just telling the masses, oh, be patient, be patient. But while being patient, so many people are dying. That's the truth. While being patient, he lives in France. While being patient, so many other things. We don't need you to give us rice. Teach us how to farm the rice. Give us a good atmosphere where we can farm the rice. Look at the spread of insecurity in the north, whether it's north, east, north, everywhere, the whole country. It is scattered everywhere.
You say it's surgery, yes. But you should give us strong painkiller to endure this
cushion
process.
the surgery.
You don't just give somebody a painkiller that can last for 1 hour of surgery of 20 hours.
Okay, let's dive in so that I'll put it out of the way. This Alabi Quadri, this young, you just corrected me the other day that he's already 17
Yeah,
years
in fact, the court were explaining
the boy
that
that
he's
stood
18.
before Obi's convoy,
yeah.
you know, and he's discharged, and they said he should go home without offense. That he nothing, no prosecution against him anymore. or
Fighting,
anything.
he's no longer fighting.
So, but the most important thing there is that there's a report that people have raised up to 10 million naira for him, and also that there is a promise from Peter Obi to take care of his education and all that. But the money they are raising now is to remove him from his immediate neighborhood. Do you think that will be sufficient protection for the boy? And before that is done, what is police doing probably to give him an extended protection?
That is why we applaud people when they speak up. If Nigeria has kept quiet, he was still being Krikri. It was strongly put in there. And again, what he was accused of were not there. So Nigerian police was culpable. Because I remember the case they filed, they claimed the guy was 18. That's why court was able to entertain it. They claimed the boy was 18 when he wasn't 18. So should we still trust asking police to take care of the boy? No, move him out of that neighborhood. I think that is the best. That is the best bet, because they attacked him because of the few money he made. Now they are aware that he has. They raised 10 million for him. Who says the radio boys won't come after him again with another allegation? So he should be moved out of that.
Okay, let me weigh on the age of the boy that they talked about. The court said the boy was 18. Now, if the boy was 18, what was the allegation? Who did he fight against? Who did he steal from? There must be evidence of stealing and assault for you to be able to put him in Krikri for maximum. I mean, not the middle one. From what we know, etc. and wrong. Now, that one is different. Now, in the case of trying to move him, relocate him so that he can have a better life, I think the lawyer is already hands-on, and Peter Obi too is trying to make sure moving him away from Amokoko will be one of the best. Of course, his location will not be disclosed for now.
Okay, if the boy claims he's 17, Peter, or people say he's 17, shouldn't there be independent investigation to be sure if his age was willfully falsified in order to punish him?
Nigeria, people don't get punished for offenses they commit. But that police officer, that IPO, should be held accountable. But the lawyer is claiming that the boy is 17, and it was done by police. It wasn't a mistake. It was deliberate, so that they can try him in court. Not at 18, court will not entertain it.
Yeah.
So it was deliberate. So that IPO should be held accountable. He should explain to Nigeria why he did that.
But you know,
until people start paying for their sin,
but you know,
continue.
But you know, even in the case of the police, the police has come in defense of its own. That's the DPO and the.
What's their defense?
Their defense was that what was supplied to them, and that Amokoko police station already had a very good record. I mean, I can't put it all together, but they came in. They didn't own up that these people are going to be looked into. The case is going to be looked into, but they came in defense of the police.
But I'm saying my worries are that we shouldn't leave the investigation of this matter to the police. I think there should be independent investigation if the boy's age was falsified in order to detain him,
punish him.
Yes,
but we don't have independent investigators like that can present a case, except the lawyer.
The lawyer
puts that forward and see that. But the mother of the boy is there, which they are going to go forward and say. But even allegation against the boy is unfounded. Those are the things we should look at. What did the court hold on to say the boy should be remanded in Kirikiri prison? No evidence of person that he fought, no evidence of somebody that he stole from. So what basis?
This idea of because it's misplaced and misuse of our resources.
Yes.
Police should know that anytime you are spending 1 hour going against innocent persons, either blocking their account or doing whatever, arresting them, and you know that they are innocent, you are wasting our resources.
Yes.
What punishment? So that these people understand that as a police officer, it's people's resources. You are a people's resources. You belong to government. You are paid from the taxpayers' money. What punishment should be spelled out against this kind of policing? Why would you go keeping a young boy, in jail for no offense? There's nothing before you.
Yeah.
How do we go about that, Peter?
It's tough. Why I say it's tough? It's same police they used to rig election. Now you've encouraged them to this illegality. What moral right do you have to attack them? These are the same people used to harass people. I remember some years ago. If I have issue with you, I go and call SARS. If I have SARS as my friend, they come and intimidate you. So we've encouraged it so much that the authorities don't even have moral right. Both of us, we cannot charge the police to court. We cannot discipline them. Those that should have done that, they've used this tool to suppress people. So it is, for me, it is on any cycle.
What I say about I don't think the police can virtually be or overall.
Let me tell you, there's something Bakare said. He said nobody is good enough to be given unlimited powers. Nobody. Nobody is good enough to be given unlimited
But
powers.
also look
so
at
there must be a way. If the institution themselves, as it is now, because you said the DPO came in defense.
Not just the DPO, the police authority.
Yeah, if the police authority are not owning up to punish that person,
but okay,
then who will come on?
let me tell you something. Do you know the police? We talked about it here on our developmental corridor program.
Yeah.
The police are underfunded.
Certainly.
Yes.
If you go to a police station, I personally have bought light credit for a police station before. Nobody buys them light. Nobody takes buys them.
You are not going to raise revenue.
Yes.
For appropriate funding of the institution from arresting innocent people.
But it now becomes like a place. In fact, let me tell you something. When I was there, the DCO came out to the front office and told them that you guys make money in this front office, so you guys should gather the money to buy electricity for.
See, I'm an advocate of the fact that police need proper funding. They need more funding. I kept saying that. Yeah. Their budget needs to be reviewed and all that. But you can't turn back again against these citizens that you should be protecting, because the police confidence will be eroded.
But that's what the system has become, where nobody any job you are given from the federal government now becomes an avenue to which you are a frequent flyer, an international flyer. Imagine what happens when you come into the country. Even when you are going out, NDLA is there.
Yeah.
Am I correct?
Yeah.
Custom is there,
yeah.
and all the other agencies.
Yeah.
What do you carry now?
No,
where they go
immigration
now?
will be greeting you happy weekend.
Happy weekend. One has told me that this naira that you have, what are you using to do outside of the country? They are just drop it with us now. It has become a place.
But they didn't arrest you. At worst case, I'm not making excuses for begging nature.
Maybe you should have asked me if they arrested me.
I'm not making excuses for their begging nature.
Yes.
Happen because
it's part of it.
It reduces their personality. But they didn't arrest you.
You can easily subvert.
But they didn't tell you are carrying a fake passport when you are carrying a good passport.
But you can really but that's why we have corruption.
That's what I'm saying. Do you know what it means?
But that's what corruption.
Do you know what it means? When they brought this boy to the police, I'm not making an excuse for that. It shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
Even when they reported this boy to the police, they say, "Oh, Obi people gave you money. Why not give to us?" It's still better than being part of incarcerating somebody for no offense.
3 months.
3 months. Okay, let's move forward. And there is this news that APC has endorsed the Asiwaju without primaries. I'm actually surprised that people are saying
it's not news.
Is it only APC?
It's not news. It's what has been happening. Every other president that goes for re-election, the party adopts them.
But I think I want to make a remarkable statement. It's not only in Nigeria. All over the world, you hardly see any president who wants to go for re-election being
from within their party.
Yeah, from within their party.
So what should have been the news, for my thinking, is that the people in PDP and other political parties are
endorsing
the president. So APC endorsing the president should not be news.
We heard that, we listened to that, and we don't know how truthful it is. Though there was this meeting in the open that they are not going to be, PDP people say they are not going to be in coalition. And a lot of people are translating that to mean that when you are not in coalition, you are in one way or the other endorsing Asiwaju's and working for his continuation.
That's what it means now. But as PDP as stand today, cannot contest against APC and win. And if you're not going to go into coalition, you're giving me a free pass. You don't need to come and tell Nigerians we're endorsing him.
But what if PDP, you know, PDP are not like other parties. Reason being that PDP have been at the federal the center before. They ruled us for 16 years. You understand? So they still have this belief. How do we merge with smaller parties just to unseat power? There's this thing in us.
They can come into the house and be the bigger boy there. What say they will stay away? Yeah, not you
talking about now. Can the PDP even be a bigger boy when they are factionalized?
No, not even beyond the factionalization. We know that I think 11 governors or 12 attended that meeting. Abure has said it that he's supporting the good works of Mr. President.
He said the God that brought Asiwaju was also the one that brought him.
Even beyond, I'm talking about recently now. He said he's going to support the Mr. President. Eno, governor of Akwa Ibom State, he said he's not supporting any other person except Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Even the suspended Fubara has come out to say that he's supporting Tinubu.
Okay, let's move to Labour Party. Labour Party, are they also going to remain like this? There's turmoil there, and it's seeming, they said INEC claims to be studying the judgment. Why still having Abure at the website and all other places that people can access? What's happening in Labour? How do they
Labour wasn't prepared for what happened, what hit them. Obedience movement, they weren't prepared for the fame they are getting. The house were in order to receive the influence that came in. The structures was not there to sustain what came in. That's the major issue. This Abure thing has been lingering for a while, and the NSC said Abure, he has to go. Or had an understanding with you. You say we should step down. Let's go and do us an out of court settlement before the Supreme Court judgment came. Well, what suddenly changed? When the judgment came, he decided not to go on with the out of court settlement, and that is where they are now. And everybody knows Labour is not coming back from their crisis. There's no way for me. There's no way back for Labour. They will go back to the parties they used to be. Small parties.
Okay.
That's where they're going.
Okay. Abure appears not to be disturbed. It's not even disturbed at all. They are actually surprised that Nenadi thought or felt that they are the right people. Where is that Abuja's confidence?
Okay, so at this junction, it's not even the Nenadi's faction that is fighting Abure. Now, the people fighting Abure is the NLC,
yes.
National Labour Congress.
You know why I say NLC? Well, you realize that Nenadi was an offshoot of NLC working with obedience.
Yes.
They are the one that harmonized and said, oh, let's bring Nenadi. Yes. So you can't clearly remove Nenadi completely.
Well, no, the NLC is the voice. I know. The voice right now is NLC.
Yes.
NLC is saying is our party originally.
Yes.
Give us back our party because we had two separate agreements. One was an agreement, I think sometime in June last year, that you will just finish your tenure and take a leave. That was then they went to the Supreme Court. 2 weeks before judgment, he came. In fact, the first one they said they wrote an agreement. Then the second one they said before the judgment came, he said, "Okay, I'm just going to leave." But since the judgment now threw everything wide open, it now becomes like a yardstick for you to rely on and ride on.
An agreement
so
they wrote.
His labor is no longer someone like Peter Obi or OT or elected member of the party. His labor has said that this party is our own. Give it back to us, please.
Okay, now, whenever you have a gentleman agreement with me, because I told them that this matter, the courts is still awaiting for them in one way or the other. When I have a gentleman agreement with you, for some reasons, you refuse to abide by it, or you think you have abided by it, and in my own understanding, you didn't abide by it. Do you see Labour going to court again?
The court is waiting for them. I mean, the court gave them to somewhere in June to come back with a resolution, what they've agreed on. So whether they abide or not, they were supposed to go back to court.
Okay.
So finally they had to go to court. Court had to decide this for them. They can't sort it out by themselves.
But we can't forget the finger of opposition in most of these issues. Do you understand? As disunited and as the states long, the opposition, the ruling party rather, are the one that benefits from it, knowing that they won't be able to galvanize together and have a headway.
Okay, let's get back to slightly on the PDP we were talking about. Yeah. There is Atiku is still a member of PDP.
Yes.
Okay. Now, you heard Baba Ahmed, talked about the North. Yeah. Needing 6 months to decide on who they will support for 2027. The options are just very open. We're looking at maybe they could support a certain candidate and say the whole North, let's queue behind this person, for the purpose of equity or competence. You understand? They could also, let's go solo. Let's go solo, and hopefully some people in the South who may understand with our vision of wanting to change what is happening now can queue with us and we win the election. It's all about numbers at the end of the day. Do you see that coalition, or in 6 months' time, do you see Baba Ahmed leadership announcing somebody like Atiku?
Yeah, thank God you asked me this. So I need to clarify this. I don't have issue with Atiku. Don't hate him. So some people have called me, you speak bad about Atiku. No, I don't. When he was with Obasanjo, I voted for him. When he ran last time against Buhari, I voted for him. So definitely, I don't have an issue with Atiku. But the issue that I think that is there is that I think age. Now we should begin to look at those that rule us. Look at their age, look at their health, look at their antecedents. Now it's no longer a party. So my issue remains this: that I feel like Atiku time has gone. Not because of his character, not because of his personality, not because of what he has done before. No, I think we should give younger people the opportunity. Wait till Baba Ahmed. If Gino decide to pick Atiku, I think they must have done good consultation. Probably look at the whole cards. Maybe they feel like this is the person that can deliver this for us.
Okay, so let me give you this. What this is preemptive. What if Obi? Obi have always said, "I'm not desperate to be president." Yeah. I'm not desperate to be president. I just want to see Nigeria that works, especially for everybody. What if for any reason Obi agrees to repeat 2019 ticket, simply to remove Asiwaju? Because I do know that if Obi, any ticket where you find Obi now is going to catch fire. Any ticket where you find Obi, and Obi accepts to be, I'll come to you, Kingsley, so be patient. If Obi accepts, say, okay, let me do it with Atiku again. For any reason. What do you think is going to happen?
As being top of the ticket or being below?
No, of course, settle Atiku is the older.
Okay. It has to do with the process. If Obi is involved with the process
and he accepts to be VP, let me be express.
Decide to explain this obedience. See, they really don't want to know why he decided to go lower. See, but his body language matters a lot. If he's involved in the whole process and he comes out to tell, this is the best alternative, this is the best option, I think the majority of obedience will go along.
Okay, let me just fling the same thing to you.
I don't think obedience will follow if he decides to be the vice president. I don't think so.
No, but I think 100% of obedience will say no.
In fact, I think.
Can you make a guess?
I think maybe like 60% will say no.
Okay, and they will stay out of the election.
Stay out of the election.
And it will count.
In fact, they will not stay out of the election. They will support Asiwaju. That's the truth.
You are so sure?
I am sure. Okay. I am sure because I don't think they see anything good in Atiku.
Why?
Now, number one, Atiku has not stood up to be that opposition we've always wanted. For example, if from the time he's been contesting, I mean, this is the third time in a row, prior to the other one that he has contested, if he has stood up as an opposition figure, the way Obi is doing right now, I'm sure a lot of us would have had confidence in him. Okay. This is the only first time, just little level of opposition. Everybody just see it as Atiku uses the president, exactly, just try to arrange himself and go back and all that. This is the first time he has not gone to Dubai. The other ones, after the election, he goes to Dubai. We think that Atiku won the last election with 2019. But he didn't even stay to fight the election.
Can you categorically see why Atiku didn't fight let me tell you, I have knowledge of how they were preparing for court sections and all that for that 2019 election. In most cases, he was nowhere to be found. People were looking for witnesses on how to get them. He was nowhere to be found. Why did he abandon that? Do you think because Buhari is his brother? Or what could be? Why is it that Atiku never took that court case serious? He actually didn't even take that mandate seriously.
It's baffled a lot of us that voted for him, that campaigned for him, that worked for him to win. We expect a fight from him. We expect him to go to lead the fight from the front. But he left us and went to Dubai. And that is what is still hurting him to today. A lot of people have refused to forgive him. Because you don't say because Buhari is from your zone or wherever, tribe. It's not to fight your just cause. We all felt that he won the election. We all believe that he won the election. Go to court and challenge this. He didn't. It was other people from some PDP putting fights together. The major person never took it serious. So that is probably why
we must also look at the fact that Baba Ahmed talked about a lot of things. Number one, he talked about is that we are going to vote or support you because you're Hausa or you're Muslim or you are our brother or Christian. No, that those days are far gone.
Yeah.
So I think to an extent, he's talking about we are not going to support Atiku because he's a Muslim and he's from the north. No, we are going to look at...
They didn't even do it even in the last election.
Exactly. We are going to look at...
Maybe it was only Tinubu who could say, oh, some supported because of the Muslim
exactly.
ticket. And they can see the Muslim tickets.
It didn't work.
They didn't do anybody
exactly.
any
Good.
Not good.
The same naira that we all take to
nobody did not benefited as a result of Muslim
tickets.
So
what's the benefit there? Has it stopped the banditry and all that stuff?
Or the crashing of naira.
He made mention of those things, and that's why I say any day, anytime, as long as he remain on this course like this, Baba Ahmed is my guy because he says what it is at every particular time.
If the process is open, if this process is fair, I think people might toe the line of whoever they support.
But let me also make it. Somebody like Fayose said it clearly that Atiku should not be given a ticket.
Okay. Well, somebody like Fayose, for example, sorry.
So no support for... No, I'm talking to Peter. No support for Atiku for future election. At least himself is not going to support.
If they made the consultation broad-based and pressing inside the process, and they go through the process, and from the calculation, it's that Atiku is the best candidate, do you think he won't support? See, it's all about being inclusiveness.
Okay, now
include people in this process.
Now we have two opportunities for Atiku to probably have tickets or not. One, still within his own PDP. Another could be on the coalition. Do you think if any of this brings out Atiku, it's still not going to fly?
My honest opinion, it will be hard sell.
It will be hard sell. Okay, Peter was talking about health, age, and things like that. If our current president, who is 73 years, of course, is nature, is managing health and things like that already, is natural. Imagine Atiku, who is a lot older than Asiwaju. Atiku is 80 years. And how will he going to be? How is he going to be when he's 84? If it is 80 years now, so 2 years time, he'll be 82, he'll be 86, and then 90.
Well, Atiku has not shown any glimpse of ill health.
Yeah, he has been very strong.
He's been very strong. So I think we should maybe knock that out.
Well, he has not been president.
It doesn't matter. Even when the one that was president now was not president, we saw the way he was living in London.
I agree with what you said. You can be younger and not stronger.
Yes,
it happens.
It's God that defines.
It's God that gives health, and you can also not be strong and live longer.
Yes. So, I think he's not strong on policies. He's not strong on opinions. He's not strong on opposition. And based on this, I don't give him any credibility to come to the president.
Okay, let's give. I know you don't like us to discuss Reno. You kept saying the other time that we'll give him.
To me, Reno is not relevant.
A lot of respect. But let me come from you first. Reno is saying that Tinubu's appointment is not even lopsided like the North are claiming. That Tinubu's appointment is lopsided, is favoring probably Yoruba people, or not even Yoruba, maybe more of Lagos caucus or things like that. And Reno is saying it's not true.
Reno has benefited from this free airtime Nigerians be giving him. He said Tinubu appointment is one of the best base, widespread appointment. You can't say it's one of the best when you're comparing it with only Buhari. Before Buhari there were even people there. Jota was there, OBJ was there. Can you compare Tinubu's appointment to OBJ's own? Can you compare it to our late president Yaradua's own? You don't compare it with Buhari. We all knew what went through Buhari appointment. We all complained. So comparing it with Buhari, to me, it doesn't hold water. So we all live in Nigeria. We all see the appointment. We all know who is being appointed and what office. So Reno just say what he needs to say to get into the government. And we heard from Grapevine that his name is in the ambassadorial appointment, ambassadorial list they're sent to the Senate.
Do you think Reno was being objective, or he was just speaking because Tinubu allowed him to visit Nigeria? Because Buhari technically banned him from visiting for 8 years.
Well, I think Reno is just doing it straight. That's what I would say. I don't think Reno. I've said it before and I will say it again. If we want to talk about Nigerian police, come and stay in Nigeria. Don't talk to us from diaspora or through virtual. And you don't know what we feel. You don't know what we see. The only person that I've known that his appointment has not been anywhere lopsided is Obasanjo. Obasanjo was a true
Obasanjo was a national.
It was
president.
flawless. Do you understand? He gave people that will never, their voices will never have been heard.
Yeah.
He gave them opportunity to be. Look at Malu, Chief of Army Staff there, and from obscure places, Major General or General Aguai from Kaduna State, from Zango, was Chief of Army Staff, became Chief of General. I mean, from obscure places, he brought in people. But between this APC government, which has been very poor in appointment, you know, nepotism just painted everywhere that we can see.
But Kingsley, let me hold it on you there. Peter, if you compare Buhari, just Buhari, and Tinubu, can you clearly say that Tinubu is more nepotic in appointment?
I think there's no much difference between them. They're all same. After you told us he was going to control for where Buhari stops, so they're all same.
So the continuous lopsided appointment. Okay, well, there's another matters arising in Abuja about land verification. Okay, you know, they have, even as we had it the last time, even CBN defaulted. So technically their land was revoked. You know, this land verification and probably a new way of, you know, issuing out land titles and all that. Yes, I believe a lot of things needed to have been done in Abuja to avoid excessive land banking and all that. Do you think Wike is going to pull it out the way our court will also not be filled with litigations and all that?
Fayose, Wike is a bulldozer that whatever he wants to do, he does it, you know. But on the land issue, it has been quiet a little bit since the time he revoked a lot of people's land and all that. But I think what matters most to me that we should look at is most of the monies he's raking in from this land retitlement and whatever he's doing. Where are the monies? Because this one that is going to be done too, people are going to pay a lot of money to recertify. Now, he said that the 6 area councils, you know, they have rights to issue land documents.
Yeah.
So they call it area title land, you know, and they should come and regularize it with that of the federal, you know. So that's for the ministry. So we are looking at how he's going to do it. People are going to pay money. When they pay money, is he going to take development to their place? Is he going to give access roads and all those things? What is going to rake in? How much is it? Who knows? We can need to be put under check by the National Assembly because they are the one that look into their issues and all that. That's exactly what I see.
Okay, do you think this regularization exercise or a new way of acquiring land, a new way of if they give you land 2 years, you didn't do what should be done and they revoke the land?
I think it's a recon development. We know what has happened in Abuja. You buy Amak land, you're trying to move in, 10 other people come in and show you the same what you have. So I think for me, if it's not done to reach on some people, it's ideal. We should, by now you buy a land, you be settled that it's yours. Not you go into a land, before you know it's court cases everywhere.
No, there has never been, but that one, RFI solved it too. RFI, no, except AMAC. For the one for FCT, RFI solved it.
No, the FCT lands are okay.
The FCT lands are okay. It's the area council land that have problems. Now, if it's going to regularize the area council land so that we will not have triple, quadruple owners in one documentation. Do you understand? Because in the area land, for example, like Gwagwalada now, they can issue one paper for 10 people. Which is do you understand? So, except you go to AGs or so, they have one office that you go and check if your this is on the system.
That's why I told you that RFI brought that under control. Actually,
that was FCDA.
So but we are talking about yes and no. You can use that same method to extend it to the area councils.
Yes. The area council already have office where they have a representation of a QS heading a particular surveyor, a division. Sorry, surveyor. You know where you go there. You check if these your papers are genuine. You know, they already have that.
I think it's a welcome development, no matter how you look at it.
They should just enhance it and harmonize it.
For the area councils, they are welcome development. Yeah. Then on the choice of people losing their land, of not paying online land for land charges and all that, CBN is defaulted. I think another government, a lot of government agencies defaulted. PDP secretariat, a lot of them. So Wike gave them opportunity to also pay so that there could be ministerial reversal. Do you think they are going to pay up or they will also ignore him?
I think if you give them enough time, you don't give a man that is hungry 2 months to come and pay.
CBN is not hungry.
No, CBN can afford to do it.
Yeah.
I'm talking about man on the streets.
Individuals, yeah.
So the time should be ample enough for them to raise this money and pay.
Most of those lands that were revoked,
those lands should be taken away from them.
Most of those lands that were revoked, they are not for people, small people. They are for major of those lands. Majority of those lands, rather.
I think personally, if a land has been developed, because the purpose of allocating a land is for development. And if that development is done, the motivation for revocation might not really be there, because that's the essence of it. Giving anybody land is for development, and that has been done. So continuous payment of tenement rate and all those should not really be why you. If you revoke a fully built up place, what will you do? You allocate the house to someone else, or you demolish. So I mean, you should concentrate on revenue drive. You can seal off the place, you know, like normal council people do. Seal off the place, you know, market, you're not going to enter until you pay, because those are tenement rates. So going to the revoke lands in a fully developed place, I don't see how that is going to be successful. Okay, let's move, because we are talking about Ricky, let's dive into Rivers a little bit. There is this committee that was initiated for the implementation of the Rivers program, emergency program. Nowadays, people are, touting us that it's not military rule. How are Rivers people taking it that there is no rule in Nigeria? Let me be clear, that you must be from a state for you to be a governor of that state. The law says you must have lived in that state for like 10 years or whatever. How are Rivers people taking it that somebody from Cross River is now, it's a de facto governor?
Number one, let's look at the illegality of the emergency rule first.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So and the way it's also done, it's not done in the way it's supposed to have been done. If there's an emergency rule, we know you don't suspend the governor.
Yeah.
Do you understand? The emergency rule, because the federal might will come in and take decision
on that matter.
That the governor will had only the prerogative to take at that particular time.
Yeah.
But this one, the federal government will come in and take decisions, especially on security. Do you understand? Not on economy and other things. For example, the administrator came in, dissolved the state electoral board. What concerns electoral board? He comes in, dissolve the traditional councils, this thing. I mean, so many things dissolve, everything down. He comes in, appoint what's it called? Local government administrators. I mean, and the law says local government administrators should be elected by the people.
Okay, Peter, let me just say, if Asiwaju wanted to be closer to people, let's forget about the illegality of the state of emergency. I think the matter is in court. Let's leave that for them to deal with. There's no Ajo man. There's nobody from Opobo area. There is no military man. And after all, this is a retired person. There's no person from River State or at least somewhere close to Fubara's area, so that people will still feel that the governor is still in our area. We are not being shortchanged. Because remember, I mentioned that one of the motivations that might make Fubara to go to court thereafter, so that there will be off-cycle election in River State, could be this grant and all that, you know, so that people have the sense of belonging. It's a River State person, not somebody from another state. All the states of federation are being ruled by at least somebody from their state. Then Wike, almighty Wike, now his own state, he has sacrificed it to somebody from across River State.
To me, federal government is right thing. Because if I have appointed someone from River State, they would have said it's Wike person, is from Wikwere, or it's from River Line. Okay. There would have been a divide. There would have been a serious discourse on this.
So we give credit to us.
Yes, to me, you have to appoint neutral. But how neutral is it? We don't know.
Well, at least it's from Cross River.
How neutral is it? We don't know. But a lot of things he has done there is unacceptable. It's unacceptable. You can't reconstitute boards. See, if federal government, if that is his mandate, then they should bring money for it. He can't use River State money to commit illegality. It's a federal project. That's why I stand. And Philip said something here that was key. He says he's a sole administrator. He's been appointed to administer the state. So he will administer the state the way he finds his feet. So if that line the federal government are told, then fund it.
Did you think? Do you think it was better appointing somebody from outside the state?
I wish I can talk what I want to say.
No, let me just tell you. Do you know when Babangida was leaving?
Yes.
He was looking for somebody to appoint as interim president.
Yes.
He was Shoneko, a Yoruba man.
He just wanted to cushion the effect.
That's exactly what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
No, that so it was a Yoruba man that I'm denying the position. Then it's also a Yoruba man.
Okay, so maybe you are thinking that if it to be that is an Ijaw man that was put in
place,
yes. So maybe they would have been more
inclusive for the people. Yes.
Probably yes. Do you understand? And probably yes, very well. Do you understand? And all that.
No, Nigeria functions.
Exactly. But bringing somebody from another state, there's a rival state
running their own money,
their everything. I don't think they feel good with it. But you know, as it is, there are two people on the divide in River State as we speak. So their opinion is well. You will see people for today. They will demonstrate for today. They will demonstrate for against tomorrow. So that's what we are saying in River State.
Okay, let's move. The Easter travel woes. A lot of people were hit by the cost of transportation. You know, these days, so many items. Let us not start mentioning them. Cost of transporting them is a lot higher than cost of buying those items. People in Howledge will tell you what is happening. But now, people going to visit their loved ones and exchange pleasantries and all that, this transportation was prohibitive. What do you say of that?
Well, I think it's even better now. It's more worse than what we had in December. The price of fuel has come down a little bit compared to 950 December. No, I think Dangote, those that has been supplied by Dangote is 850 thereabout. Then NNPC is 930 as at yesterday.
From
now.
150 Nigeria, from 165 Nigeria.
We have not passed that one. That's story. We have forgotten that. We have forgotten that. We are not even talking about saying if fuel come down to 600, people will be jumping. I'm telling you, you know, and all that. So what they should have concentrated on is to make sure the fuel come down reasonably. Or I've said it over and over again, the mode of doing business should be faster and quicker, so that the same cost and time will not be the same. If I'm transporting goods from Kano to Abuja, instead of the road taking me 3 hours, the road should take me 1 hour 30 minutes, so that it will be more shortened. Then people will know that there's something to maximize. Do you understand? And all that. The driver that would have used 10 gallons of fuel, that's about 40 liters, will now use maybe like 20. Do you understand? So the cost of that transport will come down. How do we do this? By making the road, number one, safe. Number two, the roads are good roads. There was a gridlock in Abuja Kaduna Road, I think on Easter Friday or Thursday. You know, nobody has explained what happened, whether there was accident or whatever it was. Do you understand? People wasted time, people wasted money and all that stuff. So those are the things you see.
Okay, do you think people feeling this temperature is going to be helping Asiwaju if he chooses to run for re-election in 2027, if this thing continues this way?
It's not going to help him. It's going to count against him because the cost of transportation now is unacceptable. And I don't blame the transporters. Have you thought about the cost of maintenance and jam bad roads? A trip, when you do a trip, you know how much you spend in maintaining that vehicle. So until we fix our infrastructure, okay, you've increased fuel, fix the infrastructure, fix the roads. There's no that there's the transport. No, my issue now is the fuel. Not traveling from here to Uchi, they have to stop and fix the car, spend another 50,000 to fix their car. So they'll keep pushing it up, and there's no alternative to this. See, give much alternative. Let's our rail work. Let's create new routes. If the transport vehicles are charging 20,000, have an alternative to it. And alternative here is air, which is no go area for a poor man, for a man on the street. So until we fix our infrastructure, it will keep happening. The air transporter will travel now. The movement is out of Abuja to our local end. By tomorrow, you'll see the cost of coming back to Abuja.
It will reverse.
It will reverse.
Okay, you are talking about costs of maintaining the roads and all that.
Cost of business in Nigeria is expensive.
Real costs that business people have to face. So appealing to that, there's no way they are going to just bring the prices down. What you were saying was like, I think there was a time the government were different arms of government, different tiers of government were appealing to the people to reduce the prices of goods, to reduce the prices of food. Appealing to middlemen, they call them, to reduce the prices of all these items so that Nigerians, because they do not believe that is the real cost of things. But the only cost that government probably control directly, which is cost of fuel. Government was increasing it. And pleading with business people to reduce their cost. How do you think that something like that will work?
Well, they also know definitely it's not going to work. If I am buying, if I'm selling at 50,000 naira, for example, and I'm going to buy, because whichever one you're doing, you don't have absolute right over everything. You don't sell everything. So if I buy fuel, I sell Gary, right? I'll go and buy yam somewhere. So if the cost of my buying rice or buying fuel is high, the cost of my selling Gary is high, the cost of my selling yam, is irreversible going to be high. So it's a chain reaction that affects everything.
So, Peter, where does our government get the moral justification to appeal to business people to reduce their price? If the price of fuel they control, they are increasing it. The price of electricity they control, they are increasing it. The price of telecommunication they in control, they are increasing it. But you are appealing to the business people, the private people, who the sole reason for opening business is to make profits. You are telling them to reduce their price.
Are they actually appealing? You want to be seen to be doing something. That's what statistics can appeal for. I am buying diesel at 1,000 what? And I want to move this yam from Benue to Lagos. I will factor in the cost of haulage. I'm renting these vehicles. I must factor them in. So those appeal doesn't even hold water. Okay. Are they going to carry for me for free? Do government do haulage for us? If don't appeal, provide a means where I will come and move these products. Provide the means. Then if you do that, then you can appeal to me to lower my price. No one I'm paying for the haulage at a very, very exorbitant price. Ask me to bring down the price I will sell. Then how would I break even? How would I be in business? How would I be in business?
Infrastructure. I know you don't like us mentioning reverse so much, but the sole administrator, not only him, but he particularly asked the government to be taking PPP serious, these private, private partnership programs, to be taking them seriously. These are infrastructures on roads and all that. Why our government not taking advantage of that?
Truly, is the spread of corruption is quite high, because during a public-private partnership, we don't see money exchanging hands. For example, from Kefi to Makurdi.
That was done under Abure.
It's a PPP.
Yes,
it's a PPP. And the PPP, Nigeria didn't put 1 naira in there. It's concessioning. They concession to this Chinese government and ask them to build target, and the target and while it's
So
going on.
You think a government that wants re-election would choose whatever gratification as against performance that people will see and vote for you?
Well, that's how the
Or
system.
they just don't know what to do?
Don't forget, that's one. Don't forget, the president doesn't govern everywhere as it is. Don't forget. We have about 40-something ministries, right? Where you have ministers. Then you have agencies of government. For example, Ministry of Works, they have FEMA.
But this
that goes with
PPP that they did for this Kefi road, it's not rocket science.
So who did it?
It's something that has been done. They could just replicate it.
I think we've spoken about this before,
Yeah.
which I have an insight to. Who did it? It was not Fashola that did it.
It wasn't.
It was Abakari that did it.
The late Abakari.
And when Abakari died, the ministry gave them hell. That's why it was not completed to time. That's why it is.
That road was
and that road is supposed to go to Enugu.
So Peter, what do you think is now preventing us? Having at least we have tried it and it's worked to some extent. What is preventing us?
I'm surprised that this government has not even replicated this thing again. You see, you're going to continue from where Buhari stopped. This is a good work done under that administration. They should have continued it. You see, each time I traveled that route, I gladly paid the toll. You see people gladly, without struggle. Do you know, traveling there and back, you don't spend money on maintenance. Your travel time is shortened.
Yeah, just like you were talking
Some
about.
people are gladly paying. They should copy this and produce everywhere. Everyone should be working.
Look, even the power that we're talking about, if we have a power company that will come and we have power 24/7, number one, we will maximize the usage of our power. Am I correct? More businesses will spring up. Am I correct? The cost of buying diesel for cold rooms, for example, it will stop. That would be eliminated. Do you understand? Fixing your diesel plant, right? Not just buying diesel, fixing the plant itself, repairs and all that stuff will go. So most of the things, if these things work, a lot of things will shift.
Okay, let's go a little bit on politics again. The feud that's on between Falana and Wike. You know, do you think because Wike hardly ends on his body? Falana gave him a hit that you are a lawyer, but you've never been to any court to try any case. So 0 case bench. So did you think that was taken too far? He also said Wike is an opportunistic politician who has destroyed every platform that has lifted him. Do you think Wike is going to take a leap back at Fubara? Though he has. Falana rather, sorry.
No, Falana mainly responded to what Wike said. He didn't attack Wike. He didn't speak about Wike. It was Wike that called press conference and attacked him. So he needed to respond. If you're the one, they called you a TV lawyer, like you'll be losing cases left and right. You can't keep quiet on about that.
But do you think Falana, a well-respected activist, do you think he's a TV lawyer?
Falana.
A son.
Falana. No, Falana is definitely not a TV lawyer. It's very obvious. I mean, what does he live by? He's
lived on legal practice.
Legal practice all his life.
All his life.
Do you understand? And
activism.
An activist, exactly.
For democracy.
Exactly. And he has been with well-known people, like all those that have gone now.
Yeah, Ganifa
and all of them. So he's definitely not a TV lawyer. You know,
okay, go ahead.
He objectively outlined how it works, and all of us saw it. You said you can disagree on a judgment from a Supreme Court and from other Supreme Court judges. They've also said is allowed. And he quoted all the...
He didn't say they were going to disobey Supreme Court.
No.
That is what he just said his opinion.
You are entitled to your opinion. I think Falana quoted Ibrahim, former Justice of Nigeria, Ibrahim Tanko Mohammed, who said, it is your responsibility to draw our attention in case we are getting it wrong or on the verge of getting it wrong.
Yes.
And I've always quoted Jackson, what's it called? The American Justice. You know, who said Robert Jackson, who said we are not final because we are infallible. We are only infallible because we are final. It means that Supreme Court judgment, yes, is final, but it doesn't mean it couldn't have gotten any kind of fault. You know, so, but Wike, can we give it to Wike that he has a way of assembling the best lawyer, because he's always winning any case he's interested
What
in.
do you use to assemble the best lawyer? It's money. As a government,
But he's not the only rich politician.
but he knows how to play his game.
Yeah.
That's all. You see, for example, in
So are
life,
you reducing it to what Falana said, that it's only corrupt lawyer that wins all his cases?
but that's what
Peter, do you
that's
believe- do you believe that?
there's something that he
That is
said.
the Nigerian system. But you still remember Wike, his first tenure in River State,
Yeah.
the way he was singing the praises of all the list.
Because they-
So all this, I should sit here, I'll sit here. He said I should move here. In the church, you have not putting him what he said in the church service in Thanksgiving. He gave praises to all the lay people, all the list, for making it possible for him to win Supreme Court, to win the case. So his life is all about courts.
And he said that, Falana said that any judgment against him, he said he'll be hurling insult on the
Yes.
judge. He said it's only bad people, bad losers that does that.
And Wike does that.
Well, you can use your tongue to catch your teeth.
All right, we will be bringing this section to the end. It's been a pleasure having you guys. And to viewers, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure having you, and thank you for hanging around. We have come to the end of the Matters Arising for today. We'll be right back next time. Thank you.